I want to prove that AI automations don't have to be complicated in order to be powerful. In this video, we're going to be walking through how to build a proposal generator. So if you do any services for businesses or high ticket sales, this could be a fantastic tool for you. If you want to build this, you can follow along with me, or if you want to just skip all the build and go download it for yourself, all you have to do is join my free school community. The link is down below. This and other builds are in there. Otherwise, let's go ahead and dive on in. Let's start out with a really quick demo. First, we have our template with all of our variables ready to fill in. Next, we're going to submit a form. First, we're going to copy our proposal template to our folder. There it is right there. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. You can see it's still completely empty. It doesn't have anything in it yet. Next, we've downloaded the sales call and we're transcribing the entire recording. Now the transcription of that sales call paired with the form we already submitted are being used by the AI agent to craft our proposal. Once our AI is done, it updates the document seamlessly. Once the document is updated, it creates an email draft to send to the prospect. And there is our proposal. Not only is our proposal completely personalized for the prospect, but it only took seconds to generate. To start out, let's talk about what we want this proposal generator to do. I want it to be triggered on a form. Next, I want to pull the transcription of the sales call. And the reason I want that is because I think that the language used on the sales call from the prospect can be the most powerful piece in selling them. And remember, the proposal is still a sales document. We're using this to help convert the person, the prospect, into a sale. So we want to be able to transcribe the call recording so that we can use it later on. And then we want to be able to craft sections of the proposal. And then we want to send the proposal draft via email. The tools that we're going to be using, you can really use any form builder. I've decided to build inside of JotForm. Next up, I'm going to need Google Drive. This is where we're going to house our proposal template. Our sales calls will be in here. And as you can already see, I've already actually built out these folders. So for me, I figured I needed at least 2 folders. I'm going to need a sales folder and a proposals folder. The proposals folder is going to house all of my proposals, but it's also going to have the template itself. In the sales folder, we're going to have the sales call recording, which will be added via Zoom or whichever recorder you're using whenever you're on sales calls, and it'll be added automatically. Okay, so now let's talk about the proposal template. So the proposal template is actually what's going to take you most of your time. It's just structuring this. You can put in a GPT prompt and you can find out kind of what structure works well. And then after that, you're going to deconstruct that structure. But basically what I did is I've taken a template that I've used in the past, and I basically started assigning variables to the things that I want to be swapping out. Now in this one, you can see these are constants. These are not going to change. The variables are anything that I have given a name to, assigned a label to. So like date, for example, prospect first name, company name, these are all variables. So our AI automation and or form inputs are going to generate content and fill these variables, okay? Let's go ahead and look through this template, and I'm still kind of building this template. There's a couple of things I still need to finish, so we'll be doing this kind of in real time. So we've got our date right here, prospect first name, company name, again, prospect first name, and the AI system. This is gonna be the name of the thing that I'm wanting to sell them. And then down here, we've got a fairly standard cover letter. Now, what you can do is you can create a custom cover letter. That would work really, really well. In this case, I've decided to just keep it as simple as I can. My needs might be different than yours. You could add additional variables into the cover letter to make it feel more personalized for your client, okay? So this is gonna be fixed for right now. Coming down to the next page, again, all I did, this doesn't mean anything. It's not any type of code. It's just a way for me to easily identify it and for our system and for n8n to easily identify it. Okay, so what we did is I literally just typed the curly brackets AI system, and this is now my name for this particular variable, which I have labeled, and I'm going to label on the other doc. So as I'm going through this, I have my variables listed over here. Now I've already separated this out. Again, a lot of this is really tedious. I can explain it much faster than I can show you doing it. But I basically just said, okay, I want the name of my thing that I'm selling to be this. And then I came over here and said, okay, that's going to be here. So this is one of the variables I need. And I basically created a list of every variable that I would need filled. After that, I went through and said, okay, which of these are from AI? And then which of these are from a form? And once I really kind of thought through how it would function, I decided that a form would fill in these items and my AI would fill in these. Because what that would allow me to do is use these items in my AI generated content. So with that being said, let's go ahead and finish all of these. So right now I've got problem statements and my bullets 1, 2, and 3. And what we'll do, there we go. So now I've got my bullets, and I'm going to condense this down so it's nice and neat. There we go. And remember, like if you're going to do a Google Doc like this, you could do it in other proposal builders. You can do PandaDoc, but this is a fairly cheap way to get started if you want to do that. Remember that whatever format the text is in, that is also what format the text will be in when it gets posted. So if you want it to be a title and bold, you need to make sure that whatever you're naming it is a title and bold, okay? Next up, our solution statement. So coming down here, we're going to add in our solution statements. And then we're going to tighten this up. There we go. And then our why this works, and then our scope of work. We're going to include a price, and then the solution pricing type, which is it monthly, recurring, is it one time, is it split payment, whatever that is. And then I'm going to add in an option. This is something I'm doing currently. Won't do it for very long, but I'm offering a 50% discount. So what I'll likely have my AI do is take this price, just divide it by 2 to get this number in exchange for testimonials and reviews. Okay. Now we've got the bulk of the content, but I always like to add in at least one upsell so that whenever the prospect is looking at this, they have options and they can future pace their success and say, oh, if I can, if they can solve this first problem, maybe they can solve this next problem. So typically what I will say is I want the AI to recommend a product or service that goes along with that is either complementary or adjacent to the service that we're already delivering. So we've got upsell 1, and I've labeled it as this, and this is already down here, upsell 1. And then the same thing, we've got our scope, and I'm going to add in the 3 bullets under scope. And then the rest of this is all going to be standard for this particular proposal. Now what we're left with is a really neat and dynamic template that we can pull on at any time. And that is going to be located, going back to our folder, that's located in our proposals folder, so we can copy and paste it. So now that we have that, and now that we know what our variables are, we're going to take the ones that we want to use by form, and we're going to create a form for it. Now, I have already created this form, but this is a really, really simple process. All you're doing is dragging and dropping options from over here. So now what we've got is first name, last name, email, company name, call link. The reason I'm including a call link in this form is because I want to be able to take that file, create a transcription of it, and then use that transcription to help me generate all of this, because it's going to walk through exactly what product or service we were discussing on the call. It will allow us to better address those pain points with the solution that we are creating. So this is going to be my trigger. Now heading into n8n, we can go ahead and start building. So you can see I've got a completely blank slate. I'm going to go ahead and start with a jot form trigger. Now for this, I'm going to have to run an actual test to pull data from the form submission. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the form name. I've already got it here, proposal generator, and I'm going to test the step. And when I do that, the way that this trigger works is it listens for an event, a test event. So I'm going to come through here and I'm going to fill out my form. And I'm going to use my email just so that I can obviously control where this goes and we can see proof that it is working. So we'll do 123 corp. And then I'm going to add a call link. So I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to go to my sales folder, and I'm going to click on my call recordings. And then I'm going to go to share, copy link. And I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to paste and then submit. Now, when I do this, it's going to recognize the submission. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and pin this submission for right now so that we can use it in other parts of the build. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to copy our proposal template because we don't want to overwrite the existing one. We want to create a new proposal. So we're going to use a Google Drive node, and we're going to copy a file. And what we can do, if I want to find this file really quickly, I can come back over here, and in the URL, I'm just going to copy this file ID right there. Since this is not going to change for any future workflow, I can make this a fixed variable. We're going to do it by ID. There we go. And the file name, I'm going to do company name, and we'll do AI proposal. That'll work for right now. And we are going to copy it in the same folder. Now with this particular node, it's important to note that sometimes if you have it copying a file, it can do it over and over again. Just to be safe, we're going to just execute this one time. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and test this step. And there's the new file right there. And just to double check, let's head back over here and see if it is in the proposals folder, which it should be. There we go. We have our new file right here. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to go ahead and close these templates. And you can see it's a copy of the exact template that we had. So now we're working on a fresh document. Now that we have this, I'm going to go ahead and pin it. All right, so next up, in order for us to transcribe the recording, we actually have to download it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Google Drive node, and then I'm going to download a file. This is going to be dynamically filled, so we're going to set it to expression, and we're going to pull it from URL. And the URL was submitted when we filled out our form, so I'm just going to grab this URL and add it over. Now this is dynamically going to pull the URL from the form. So let's go ahead and test this step. Perfect. And there is our recording. Now what we want to do is transcribe our recording. So I'm just going to come in and search for transcribe. I'm going to grab my OpenAI node and come down to transcribe a recording. The data field name is just going to be called data, as you can see right here. And it's an audio recording, and our goal is to transcribe the recording. So let's test this step. And there you go. It looks like our transcript has successfully been generated. And so now comes the fun part of crafting an OpenAI node. So all we're going to do here is come to AI. Let's do OpenAI, and we're going to message a model. Now in this, we really just want 2 prompts, okay? First off, we're not going to simplify output, and we do want to set output content as JSON. Okay, so for this one, we're just going to use 4.1 mini. I think that should be strong enough. And now we need to craft our 2 prompts. Now, going back over here, we already know these are going to be the primary inputs. So what we have to first do in our user message is add in the inputs as variables. So I've already crafted at least the user prompt. So I'll zoom in on this so you can see it. It's very straightforward. This does not have to be complicated at all. What I'll do right here is I'll add this in. And again, if you didn't know where I got these variables from, I'll show you. The sales call transcript is just right here. And then all the other variables I pulled from the jot form trigger, which was down here. Okay, and you can see it's coming over correctly. So this is looking good. The next thing we need to do is we need to craft a system prompt. Now the system prompt is going to provide context, and it's going to tell GPT exactly what it should be doing and how it should be doing it. Now the problem is that we have a lot of variables here. So we actually need to craft a prompt to have GPT help us craft a prompt. So what I've done is I've created a prompt builder, and I'm going to go through this with you step by step right now because it took a long time to build, but to be honest, it's actually very simple. All I did is I copied all of these variables into another page, and then I described them. That's really it. So going back to my prompt builder, please help me craft a system prompt for an AI agent designed to craft pieces of a proposal and output as separate JSON items. Okay. The input, all I'm doing is giving the input right here. So it's getting this handed to it out the gate, but this is what I need it to actually build. Okay, we're going to pull from a sales transcript. So we've got our AI system name, right? Title of AI system, please follow these rules. The title should be simple, easy to understand. It should be outcome driven, right? So for an AI proposal generator, we could probably just call it AI proposal generator because it's simple, it's easy to understand, and it is outcome driven. I know right away it's going to generate proposals for me. And I have it with context saying from the problem statement. And the problem statement is up here. And the problem statement is summarizing the transcript, right? So it's a more concise version of that. Next up, we have our solution statement. A single statement providing clarity on our proposed solution should include the system name and provide enough context that prospects immediately understand the outcome. Please break down in more detail in the 3 bullets below. The why this works, 2 to 3 sentence explanation of why the solution solves their problems and keep it benefit driven. Work scope, a detailed solution scope of the work. Now for our pricing, we just want to make sure that it knows what to express it in. So it's going to be USD for me. You also can add in additional context. So right here, if you typically have a list of builds that you're selling or a list of items, you could provide that list right here. And then solution pricing type, which is define the price type, and I've given it one time or monthly. So it basically can pick which one it wants to use. And then the 50% discount is something I'm offering currently for a short period of time. It's 50% off price expressed in US dollars. So I'm taking this variable from right here and I'm saying whatever this is, 50% of that. We're going to craft a complementary upsell that solves the next problem or solves an adjacent problem and fill out these variables. It's the same thing over again. So basically all I've got is all of these variables added out for the upsell, okay? Don't get too overwhelmed. This is actually really simple because at the end of the day, it's this. It's the same variables you already created. So you have to work backwards. That's why we started with the template so that we could get to this point and know exactly which ones we needed built. Going back over to our prompt builder, we're gonna copy this. As you can see, I pasted it and now we are getting our prompt built out. This looks pretty good. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to add my prompt right here. Okay. Now I want to take this same prompt and I'm just going to copy and paste it right here. And we want to open it up to make sure that it looks right. Okay. This looks good. So now we can go ahead and test this step. And there we go. You can see I've got all of these output as JSON. I've got them labeled correctly. So now comes the fun part. We just have to plug these all in. So I'm going to pin this for right now. And then what we need to do here is go back into our document and update all of those variables. So to do this, we actually want to use a Google Docs node. We're looking to update a document. Now we're going to update this based on the ID of the document that we created. So right here, I believe it was the second. Let's come back here. Copy file. It was the second node. So I'm going to come back. We're going to take from the second this guy right here. And it's going to be that ID. And now we need to go through. This is where this gets tedious. We need to go through and add all of these variables manually right here. So let me go ahead and show you one, and then I'll probably speed through the rest. So all I'm going to do is select the object as text. I'm going to find and replace, and then I'm going to copy the old text. And I want this to be fixed, even though it's trying to assign it as an expression because I did the curly brackets out of habit, but this is actually a fixed variable. Our new text is actually going to come from, for this particular variable, the prospect first name. We're going to pull it right here, down there. And then we're just going to add, we're going to rinse and repeat over and over and over again. All right, now that that's done, I'm going to go through it really quick and show you. I've added all of these variables, and you can see that the old text is marked as fixed in all of them, and the new text is a variable from the JSONs from the input over here. So I've added all of these variables. And what we can now do, let me go back over to our proposal. This was our new proposal document, and you can see that nothing has been filled in. Let's go ahead and test this step. And there you go. Okay, so now that we have the finished document completely updated, we need to do two things. We need to download it and then we need to send it. So the first thing we're going to do is a Google Drive node. And we're looking for download file. Now, a couple things. This is not going to come through as a PDF, which means we have to actually convert it to a PDF. So first, let's start with the document ID. You'll see it switches over to an ID and an expression. Next, we need to output the file in field as proposal. Next, we're going to generate a file conversion. So for Google Docs, we're going to change these to a PDF. And then finally, we're going to change the file name to proposal.pdf. And the reason we have to do that is that if we don't add the .pdf, it won't actually come through as a PDF in the email. It comes through as an HTML that will then open up as a PDF. It's just sloppy. So this way it actually appends the PDF to the email itself. So we're going to go ahead and click test step. And there's our output right there. So now we just need to do a Gmail node. And we're going to do a draft, create a draft. So for this, let's come back to our schema. And we're actually going to pull from the initial form. So we'll do our company name. And then let's go into our AI node, and we'll pull the name of the build, the AI system, and then we'll do proposal. Okay. And then for the message, we'll do, hey, first name, as discussed, here is the proposal for the, and then once again, we can go back in here and add the system name, build. Let me know if you have any questions at all. Look forward to hearing from you. Okay, so now we've got our email written out. We have two things left to do. One, we have to actually add the attachment. And then two, we have to say who this email is going to. So for the attachment, we want to go back to our binary and find proposal, because that's the name that we used. There we go. We're just going to copy and paste. It's just a fixed field. We're not having to do anything else for this. And the final is going to be adding a to email. And for this, we're going to go back all the way over here to our form submission, and we're going to add the email address from right there. Now we have this. Let's go ahead and test this step, and we should have a draft pop up here. There's our draft. There's our PDF, and you can see it's the completed proposal. It looks great. So with that being said, this was an unbelievably simple AI automation workflow, but with the power to save your team dozens of hours per week, depending on how many prospects you are sending proposals to. Guys, I hope you found this valuable. I'm on a mission to prove that powerful AI systems do not have to be complicated. So if you got value from that, do me a favor, give me a like and subscribe. And if you want to download this template along with others, you can head on over to my free school community and download it there. Otherwise, comment below if you have any ideas for future builds or anything that you're trying to solve in your own business. And with that, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.